Imagine spending years getting good at games. Assassin's Creed, Hitman, Metal Gear Solid, training yourself to be a master of stealth, strategy, patience, and survival. And then 2026 shows up and says, nah bro, just paint yourself like a dirty bathroom tile and lie on the floor. That is Meccha Chameleon. And here is the part that should make every game studio on Earth want to stare blankly at their budget reports. This game, made by one person in 2 months with $0 spent on marketing, just sold 7 million copies. It peaked at 340,000 players online at the same time. It hit #1 on Steam's global sales chart, beating Forza Horizon 6. In Japan, where the game literally comes from, it beat Final Fantasy VII Remake. In Japan, Final Fantasy, gone. A Sega game producer went online and publicly called this an, and I am directly quoting, unthinkable achievement for the game industry. Sega said that about the bathroom tile game that costs $5.99. Your biggest survival skill in 2026 is not aim, not reflexes, not strategy. It is becoming a suspicious looking rectangle. And by the end of this video, you will either want to download this game immediately or you will start suspecting your own furniture. Let's go. What is up everyone? It is Live Tech Updates and welcome back to the channel. Today we are not talking about a $70 game that needed 3 patches just to open correctly on day 1. We are not talking about a sequel nobody asked for, a battle pass nobody wanted, or a live service game that needs 200 hours before it gets interesting. We are talking about a $5.99 hide and seek game made by essentially one guy that just became the most talked about gaming story of 2026. Grab a snack, this video goes hard. Okay, first question, what even is this game? At its core, Meccha Chameleon is hide and seek meets prop hunt meets MS Paint after drinking 3 energy drinks. The rules are completely simple. Some players are hiders, some players are seekers. The hiders start as these white, blobby little humanoid characters. Honestly, they look like someone dropped a marshmallow, gave it legs, and said, that is the protagonist, ship it. And instead of hiding behind objects like in prop hunt, you paint yourself manually with your own virtual hands. If you are near a wooden wall, you paint yourself brown. If you are near a green floor, you paint yourself green. If you are near a trash can, you paint yourself like trash. Finally, a game where my personality is useful. The hiding spot matters, the pose matters, the color accuracy matters. And here is what nobody tells you, the confidence matters. Because sometimes your disguise is objectively terrible. Wrong shade, wrong angle, one arm sticking out at a completely suspicious angle. But if you stand there with complete conviction, your friends might also become stupid. And that is not just stealth, that is psychological warfare. Now here is the twist that separates this from every single hide and seek game that came before it. The game rewards you for hiding in plain sight. The closer a seeker looks in your direction without spotting you, the more points you earn. So hiding in a dark corner like a coward, low score, disappointing. No clip, no fame, nothing. Painting yourself to look like the carpet and lying face down in the middle of the room while a seeker literally steps right over you, maximum points, national hero, clip of the week. This is either the most brilliant game design of 2026 or the most psychological torture ever sold for under $6. I say both. Now let me hit you with the numbers, and I want you to actually feel these. Meccha Chameleon launched on June 10th, 2026. Here is what the next 12 days looked like. Day 1, 20,000 concurrent players. Good indie launch, solid. Day 5, 90,000. Heads are turning at gaming companies. Day 8, 244,000 people online at the exact same time. Day 12, June 22nd, 340,000 concurrent players. 7 million copies sold. That puts it in the top 50 most played games in Steam history. In 12 days, it hit #1 on Steam's global sales chart, beating Forza Horizon 6, beating Final Fantasy VII Remake. And in Japan, the developer's own home country, it beat Final Fantasy in Japan. The Final Fantasy franchise in Japan, where Final Fantasy is basically a national landmark, gone. A Sega producer then went online and said this was an, and I am quoting directly, unthinkable achievement for the game industry and game companies. Sega said that! The company behind Sonic and Yakuza just sat down and watched a $5.99 Chameleon game outsell everything. Now picture yourself as a AAA studio right now. You spent hundreds of millions of dollars, celebrity voice actors, cinematic trailers, marketing campaigns so large you could see them from space. And then this game walks in and says, nice budget. Anyway, I sold millions, zero spent on advertising. Also, beat Final Fantasy in Japan. You were saying? Not $1, not one sponsored post, not one paid deal of any kind. Just word of mouth, Twitch streams, short form clips, and 7 million people saying, wait, what is this? I need it immediately. So why this game? Why this one specifically? Because hundreds of games launch every single week, and most of them disappear into the void. Like that save file you accidentally deleted in 2016. Meccha Chameleon has a formula, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. There are 4 reasons this worked, and they all hit at exactly the same time. Reason number 1, the concept explains itself in 3 seconds. When someone sees a Meccha Chameleon clip for the very first time, zero context, never heard of it, just randomly scrolling at 2 in the morning, they instantly understand everything. They see a white blob carefully painting itself to look like wallpaper, then pressing against the wall and holding perfectly still while a seeker walks directly past them. No tutorial, no patch notes, no 40-minute prologue. The viewer understands it all instantly and is already playing it in their head. Rock Paper Shotgun actually wrote this line, and I love it. One of the game's loveliest qualities is that, strictly speaking, you don't need to play it to play it. You watch it and you are already mentally playing it. That is game design perfection. Most AAA games cannot explain themselves with a 3-minute cinematic trailer. This one does it with vibes. Reason number 2, it is literally built for clips. Not just gameplay, clips. There is a real difference. Some games are fun to play but boring to watch. Meccha Chameleon is fun to play and even funnier to watch, because every single round produces a moment you immediately want to send to 5 people. Wait, was that wall breathing? Why is that painting shaped like a man? Why does this trash bag have anxiety? Every clip requires zero context, explains itself instantly, and lands with a laugh that makes every viewer want to immediately go buy the game. That is the holy trinity of viral content. And the game makes this even better by rewarding daring. Hiding in an obvious spot earns more points than hiding in a corner. So players are literally motivated to do the most ridiculous possible thing. The clips write themselves. Reason number 3, the price of $5.99 is a psychological weapon. This is not a real game price. This is a friction elimination tactic. $5.99 is less than a Starbucks drink, less than a fast food combo, less than what you spend on snacks without even thinking about it. When someone sees a funny clip, laughs for 30 seconds, goes to the Steam page and sees $5.99, they just buy it. No debate, no let me wait for a sale, no maybe after payday. Check out in 15 seconds. That tiny gap between desire and purchase is exactly why this went from 1 million to 7 million copies in 8 days. Lower the barrier low enough and people stop thinking. They just walk right through. Reason number 4, being bad at this game is hilarious. And that is completely on purpose. In most games, if you are bad, you suffer quietly in a corner somewhere. In Meccha Chameleon, if you are bad, you become the thumbnail. You try to blend into the wall, you pick the wrong shade of brown, and now you look like a chocolate stain with legs. You lie down on the floor thinking you are completely invisible. The seeker walks in and says, bro, I can literally see your knees. The game does not punish bad players with boredom. It rewards bad players with comedy. If you are skilled, you feel like a camouflage genius who fooled everyone's eyes. If you are bad, your friends laugh at you for 5 minutes straight and you become someone's clip of the week. Everybody wins, except your dignity. Your dignity is fully gone. Now, Meccha Chameleon did not blow up in a vacuum. On its very first day, day 1, the game pulled 123,000 viewers on Twitch simultaneously. Not after a review went live, not after going viral, day 1. And we are talking about real names here. Shroud, XQC, Jynxzi, all streaming the game within days of launch, bringing hundreds of thousands of viewers directly to the Steam page at the same time. The chain reaction is almost textbook at this point. Streamer plays it, viewers laugh, viewers buy it. Viewers clip their own sessions, clip spread on TikTok and YouTube Shorts, new audience discovers it, new audience buys it, new audience makes more clips, cycle continues. Numbers become completely unreal. And here is the sneaky genius part. The developers built streaming support directly into the game from day one. You can host viewer participation lobbies. The audience can literally join the match. The Steam page itself says, game streamers can easily host viewer participation games. That is not just a feature. That is marketing disguised as a game mechanic. The developers spent nothing on advertising because they built the advertising into the game itself. Every stream was also a sales pitch. Every viewer was a potential buyer. Beautiful. Shakespeare could never. People are calling it prop hunt but chameleons. And yes, that is accurate and also perfectly describes why it works so well. But Meccha Chameleon has one critical twist that changes the entire feeling. In prop hunt, you hide by becoming an object. You press a button, you are a chair now. Done. In Meccha Chameleon, you hide by being convincing. Color, position, pose, shape, angle, artistic effort, and confidence. That single difference turns hiding from a passive action into a performance. You are not just a chair. You are the best possible version of something that belongs in this room, or the worst possible version, and somehow that also works because your seeker is panicking just as much as you are. This is why the game feels familiar and completely fresh at the exact same time. And that is actually the biggest secret behind every viral game of the past 5 years. They do not need to be complicated. They need to be instantly understandable with one unique twist. Among Us, Mafia but in space. Lethal Company, workplace horror but your boss literally wants you dead. REPO, steal stuff with friends but everything is actively trying to end you. Meccha Chameleon, hide and seek but your art teacher is now your survival coach. Simple, familiar, one twist, everywhere overnight. Here is the context that makes this story even bigger. We are living through the rise of what people are calling friendslop, which sounds like an insult but is genuinely affectionate. It means chaotic, funny, social multiplayer games that are not trying to be perfect, they are just trying to create the best possible moments between friends. Lethal Company, content warning. REPO, peak. These games keep exploding for the same reasons every single time. Cheap price, chaotic gameplay, shareable moments, and fundamentally better when you play with friends. Meccha Chameleon is the latest, and right now the best, version of that formula. But there is a bigger reason this is landing so hard in 2026 specifically. Players are exhausted. Exhausted from massive live service games that require 200 hours before they get interesting. Exhausted from battle passes that cost more than the actual game. Exhausted from grinding 300 hours to unlock a helmet that looks only slightly less ugly than the default. Exhausted from games that feel like spreadsheets wearing armor and calling themselves entertainment. And then Meccha Chameleon shows up and says, what if you just went and had fun with your friends for $6? And the entire internet went, finally. Because players do not always need more content. Sometimes they just need better moments. And Meccha Chameleon creates moments constantly. The real language of this game is panic, and panic is universal. Now, real talk. Is Meccha Chameleon a flawless, perfect game? No, of course not. The paint tools can feel inconsistent. The color dropper especially has been flagged in reviews for being temperamental in tight situations. Some matches are chaotic in the I genuinely do not know what is happening to my screen right now kind of way. There are rough edges. The UI takes a moment to learn. Playing with strangers in public lobbies is never quite as fun as playing with friends you can hear screaming through voice chat. And yes, like every viral multiplayer game in history, the internet has the attention span of a goldfish with Wi-Fi. The hype could cool down. But the foundation is extremely solid. The core idea is clean. The maps are expanding. A Japan-themed map has already been confirmed. The developers are actively updating and listening to feedback. Modding support through Steam Workshop is already producing custom content. And at $5.99, even if you play 3 sessions and never touch it again, you have already gotten your money's worth and 2 stories you are going to tell at every gathering for the rest of the year.
So why is Meccha Chameleon taking over the world?
Because it is simple, it is funny, it is social. It was built for streamers from day one. It creates viral clips automatically every single match. It rewards creativity and turns bad players into entertainment, so that everyone has a reason to keep coming back. It is familiar like Prop Hunt, but completely fresh because of the painting mechanic. And it costs less than a pizza slice. And most importantly, it understands something that most big budget studios have spent hundreds of millions of dollars learning the wrong lesson from. Gaming does not always need to be serious. Sometimes the greatest gaming moment is hiding as a wall, absolutely sweating through your controller while your friend walks directly toward you, slows down, pauses, looks right where you are standing, and keeps walking. And you are still there, on the wall, painted like a fire hazard, completely victorious. Meccha Chameleon is one developer, 2 months, $5.99, zero marketing budget, and it beat Final Fantasy in Japan and made Sega executives stare into the void and quietly question everything they know about this industry. Honestly, it completely deserves it, because any game that turns a badly painted floor tile into the greatest entertainment of your entire week is doing something genuinely, undeniably right. But now, I want to know your stories. What is your best hiding spot? Drop it in the comments below. I'm building a Hall of Fame and a Wall of Shame, and I need both equally. And if the Seeker found you in the most embarrassing, obvious way humanly possible, especially put that in the comments. We are documenting these crimes for future generations. If this video taught you something or made you laugh, hit the like button. It helps more than you think. And if you want more gaming breakdowns, viral deep dives, and the occasional "how does this game even exist" energy, subscribe and hit the bell. I drop videos like this, and I will never ask you to pay $70 for content that needs a patch on day one. See you in the next one. Now, if you will excuse me, I need to go paint myself like a refrigerator and absolutely ruin someone's Tuesday. Peace.